Hello friends, my name is Mal. I am the owner and maker of Made by Manny and Mal. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be making a breast cancer awareness cup. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I wanted to make a cup to help support that cause. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I wanted to keep it really simple and just really elegant. So I hope that you enjoy the video. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to our channel, hit that button while you're here. I will have links to all the products I'm using in this video down below in the description box, as well as a few discount codes for you and links to our website, our social media, our Facebook group, Patreon group. All of that good info will be down in the description box below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And let me know what you think of this tutorial in the comments. Okay, I hope you enjoy. Let's go. We are going to be using a 20-ounce skinny straight from Craft Haven for this design. And as always, the first step is to prep our cup. So I'm taking an 80 grit sanding block and just roughing up the surface of my tumbler. I'm going to spray it with 91% rubbing alcohol and wipe everything off with a paper towel. And then we're going to base paint our cup. So I'm just using one solid coat of paint, even though we're doing an ombre. Once I let the paint dry, I mixed up 5 milliliters of a little extra ink epoxy. And we're not going to use the whole 5 milliliters. It's just super hard to mix up a smaller amount. So I'm going to mix that up and then apply a very, very, very thin layer of epoxy to my cup, making sure that I have an even coat and that there aren't any lines or streaks or anything on the cup. So I'm going to apply the epoxy and then let my cup sit about 5 minutes just so it can even out and get ready. For this design, we're going to do a basic, really simple, just elegant ombre. So I'm going to start with my darkest color. This is also my chunkiest cut. And I'm going to go from dark to light up the cup. So I'm taking this glitter, which is What Incarnation from Peachy Olive Glitters. And as you can see, I'm going very, very, very light at this point. I'm just trying to kind of map out my colors and start to build my coverage. So I got my shaker up really, really high. It's like pretty much out of frame. And I'm just doing light little shakes to get a little bit of glitter to come out at one time. So I'm just like shaking super light so we just get a little bit of glitter to cascade down the cup. Now the goal here isn't to not get glitter up like at the top part of the cup. It's just to make sure that our coverage is really light, even if it does go up that high. We want our fade to be really nicely blended. So don't be afraid if you get a few little stragglers that end up at the top of your cup. That's totally fine. So then once I've got that kind of mapped out, I'm going to really cover the bottom 2 inches of our cup really well to get that base down there. Then I'm going to repeat the same process at the top of our cup. For the light chunky color, we're using Forever Girl from PDB. And I'm going to start by covering the rim and then holding my cup at a downward angle and mapping out basically the exact same way that I did with the first color. Since this is our lighter color, I'm going a little bit more heavy-handed here. I'm letting the glitter kind of fall a little bit further down the cup, a little bit heavier, because I want this to take up a lot of surface area. So once I've got that kind of cascading down, I'm going to do the same thing, cover the top 2 inches of the cup with like a really good full coverage. The next color I'm taking is Glamour Queen from PDB, and this is basically the same color as What Incarnation, it's just a finer cut. It also has some like iridescent kind of shift to it, so it really adds a lot of dimension and it's so pretty. So I'm aiming here for like the 2-inch mark up from the bottom of our cup so that the glitter will hit that spot and fall and cascade down the cup. So I'm letting this go up pretty far, holding my cup at about a 45-degree angle. The steeper your angle, the more your glitter will fall. So if you're holding your cup vertically, that glitter is going to go straight down. If you hold your cup horizontally, your glitter is not really going to go anywhere. So next we're taking Pinky Promise, which is a fine light pink, And I'm basically doing the exact same thing that I did with Glamour Queen, but with Pinky Promise, I'm being a lot more heavy-handed. I'm at this point starting to really fill in all of the gaps. We've got a good base down of chunky glitter, so now I'm just filling everything in and building the blend. So here you can see I'm going kind of all the way down the cup. I'm not trying to keep this glitter in any one spot. I'm also listening to music as I'm doing this, if you can't tell. If you can guess what song I'm dancing to in the comments, I will give you a prize. So leave your song guesses down below in the comments if you think you know what song I'm dancing to. The next color we're going to take is Baby's Breath from PDB, and it's an ultra fine. So before I go in with that color, I'm going to tap off any excess that we've got on our cup so far. And then I'm going to take this Baby's Breath and really kind of concentrate it on the top of the cup, but let it fall the entire length of the cup. This is a really, really pretty light pink color. So it's going to really help build the blend and fill in any of those tiny spots we might still have open. And this is really good to use like if you have an extra fine cut, so a 0.008 cut, that's kind of neutral, that would blend with both your top and bottom color. You can just use it on your whole cup and it'll really help to blend everything together. So even if you're doing like, let's say like a gold and a pink, if you have a super fine gold or a super fine pink, you can use it at the end to help blend your blend a little bit more. So to finish this off, I decided to go in one more time with Glamour Queen. And for this one, I took the lid off and I'm just really like making it rain on the whole cup. This is just going to reinforce the kind of rose gold tone at the bottom and really just make that blend perfect. So this is what the cup looks like. I am loving it a lot. And in order to make sure that our glitter is lying flat and we don't have any problems when we go in with epoxy, I'm going to wrap my cup up in some parchment paper to flatten all of those glitters out. We used a lot of glitter and a lot of chunky, so just want to make sure that it's laying flat before we go in with epoxy. I'm not going to spray seal this or anything. I'm just going to let the glitter layer cure about 3 hours before I go in with my first 2 coats of epoxy. So for this first coat, I'm taking about 30 milliliters of a little extra ink epoxy and spreading it really gently around my cup. And then I'm going to let that sit and cure about 6 hours and then go in with a second coat of about 15 milliliters of epoxy. Once the second coat of epoxy was cured, I was ready to clean up my cup a little bit. I cleaned the edge off with my X-Acto knife, sanded down the rim, and then made sure the whole cup was smooth. And for the decals on this cup, I just wanted to keep it really, really simple and elegant. So I found this breast cancer ribbon SVG on Creative Fabrica, and I cut out the regular file out of this printed vinyl that I got from the Vinyl House. It says Never Give Up, and it's a breast cancer themed vinyl print. And then I made an offset of that SVG and cut it out of this pink mirror chrome vinyl from Teckwrap Craft. And I cut it pretty big. I wanted this to be the statement piece of the cup. This is the only thing going on our cup. So I first applied the offset to my cup just in the center, a little bit kind of tilted. I didn't want it standing straight up and down. And then I'm going to layer the regular patterned decal right over the top of that. And to help me get it straight, I'm using the parchment paper layering trick. I use this all the time, especially with big decals like this that I want to be perfect. So you just put a piece of parchment paper in between your top layer decal and the bottom, and the decal and the transfer tape won't stick to the parchment paper, so you can move it around and make sure everything is lined up before you actually apply the decal to the bottom layer. So once I had everything lined up, I hinged my decal down with the hinge method like always, and this is what it looks like. It's so simple and just really beautiful, and I really like how it looks as a big statement. So I'm going to go straight into my final coats of epoxy now. This coat is about 20 milliliters, and I'm going to let that cure about 4 to 6 hours before I go in with my final coat. And the final coat ended up being about 10 to 15 milliliters. And once that was cured, we were all done. So here is the final result. I really love the simplicity and elegance of this cup, and my heart just goes out to anyone who has a family member struggling with breast cancer. They've struggled with it themselves and This video is just dedicated to all of the warriors, the fighters, the family members, and just know that if you are struggling with any type of cancer or anything, you are not alone. And remember, never, ever, ever give up on the fight. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you recreate this design, please be sure to tag me in your photos at Made by Manny and Mal on Instagram. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody who watches my videos. I love all of your kind comments, and I'm so thankful for every single one of you. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, love you. Bye.